get into like the actual content of this vlog, I guess, like what you're probably here for, I want to talk to you about something that I have just discovered that I don't enjoy. My nose, and noses in general. You know, I was on TikTok, as I usually am, and there's like this trend where people show their side profiles. So I was like, okay, bet, let me do it. So I was like, you know, just doing the video for myself, and I just turned my head, and I look at it later, and I looked at my nose. I've never really cared about my nose. Like, I've never thought it's a weird shape or thought it was like, I don't know, ugly or something. But then I looked at it, and I was like, noses are so out of place. Like, shape aside, they're just protruding from your face. And I don't know if I'm comfortable with noses now, because now every time I look at my face, all I can see is my nose, and I'm not a fan of it, you know? Also, this lighting is a little harsh, but otherwise it'd be pretty dark, so we're just gonna live with it. Hi, my name is Bailey. Welcome to this vlog on this channel. So I've probably scrapped about 4 vlogs at this point, and I'm hoping that this one works out because I'm kind of sick of having to repeat my intro like a bajillion times. Basically, we're gonna speed around the intro. I was depressed. I left because of being depressed and being in a reading slump, so there was no reading, so there was no content, so that's how that happened. But I'm back now, hopefully. Life updates, I'm in grade 12 now. I am still 16 because I turned 17 on October 23rd, so I'm still a baby. Although when I'm 17, I'll still be pretty young compared to, like, a lot of people in the community. They're usually all, like, college past age. So, like, still a child, but, like, gonna be a slightly older child. But yeah, that's literally all I have to update you on. Yeah, I haven't really been on BookTube or Book Twitter, so I really missed everything. So, like, what's the sitch? Any book Twitter drama that I need to know about? Anything interesting? I guess I can, like, intro what we're doing right now. This is a reading vlog, specifically a long weekend reading vlog. I have today, which is Friday, off, and Monday off because of Thanksgiving, which is very fun for me. Even though, like, today's mostly done, so, like, today's kind of been wasted, but still a long weekend reading vlog, and that's just the plan. I'm trying to finish 2 books in this vlog, ideally, and they're the 2 books I'm already reading, which are back there, so I'm gonna go get them. Roll back in. Hello. So, we're gonna talk about Loveless first. This is Loveless by Oseman, Oseman's newest release. This was gifted to me by my best friend, Ava. Thank you, Ava. And I am currently about 40% through. I'm on page 163. This book follows Georgia, and she is in her first year of university, and she is trying to put herself out there and have romantic and sexual experiences and just, like, you know, discover herself. This book is all about Georgia, who is Airways, but she's, like, on her questioning journey to becoming Airways, or, like, not becoming Airways, but, like, you know, realizing she is. I hate this book a lot. And I'll explain that as best as I can, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain my thoughts on this very well because they're not, like, too fleshed out yet, but I just know I don't like it. The only thing that's, like, a redeeming quality of this book for me is Rooney, which is Georgia's roommate, because she's just a doll and I love her. But yeah, I hate this book a lot. And the reason I hate it is, 1, because I don't like Alice Oseman's writing. I haven't really realized it until reading this book, but I hate it. It, to me, is trying too hard to sound like a quirky teenager, and as a teenager, it's really frustrating to read. I feel like the pop culture references are too many in this book. I usually don't get bothered by pop culture references, but there's just, like, too many of them for me, you know? Like, pop culture references automatically age your book. That's been just bothersome, and, like, the writing is just not for me. But also the characters suck. Specifically Georgia. Georgia is the worst. A specific reason I don't like her is because she goes to university and she's, like, never kissed anyone, and she knows that she's repulsed by romance, but she kind of wants to, like, see if she can have the romantic experience, right? So she asks Rooney to help her with this and, you know, find her guys who she might like. And then in her inner monologue, Georgia gets pissed that Rooney is bringing her guys to look at and see if she's attracted to. And I'm like, did you expect her to just not help you when she agreed to help you when you asked for her help? Like, Georgia is just super unlikable, but I don't think she's meant to be unlikable. I feel like a stereotypical female character type is a shy and, like, socially awkward, I just want to sit at home and read fanfic sort of female character, which is fine. Like, there's people like that, but I've read it too many times. But this character, I feel like she's not trying to be unlikable, but she is. I hate her, at least, so if you like her, I mean, go off, but not for me. On the Airways representation, there hasn't been much so far. Like, it hasn't really talked too much about the Aroace-ness. I do know that Alice Oseman is Aroace, so its own voices rep, and I feel like Georgia is probably a pretty good reflection of Alice Oseman's self. So I'm not trying to be a dick to Alice Oseman, but Georgia's personality is literally repulsive to me right now. So that's very fun for me. But on the Aroace rep, like I was trying to talk about, I don't know how I feel about this book. I feel like it's making me feel a type of way, and like to contextualize my feelings, I guess I'm gonna have to say this. I'm somewhere on the Aro spectrum. Ace I haven't like thought about at this point in time, but like I'm somewhere on the Aro spectrum. I don't know like how far, but like somewhere on it. And the way I feel about romance is similar to Georgia in a lot of ways, but also not. I know she's not trying to, but like reading her monologue or her inner thoughts, it feels invalidating to myself and just makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why that is. Like, I can't explain why that is, but I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm hoping at some point the title is, you know, challenged, because I hope it's not trying to pander that Aroace people are loveless, because that's not true. But we shall see. I do think that I heard that it is challenged, which is good, but I don't know. This book is just making me uncomfortable, and the characters are just in my opinion. Pip is also annoying because she's like the best friend or one of the best friends, and she's so overly protective and rude to people because she's so overly protective of her friendship with Georgia, and I'm just like, I'm sick of this. Like, I don't like it at all. I also don't think I'm a big fan of contemporary. Like, 400-page plus contemporary is just like a lot for me because they're so boring in my opinion. Like, I feel like 300 pages is the sweet spot for contemporary. Like, I don't want to read about the ins and outs of just a normal mundane person's life, and that's what contemporary tends to be. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna pick up Alice Oseman's novels again. Like, I own Solitaire, so I'm probably gonna read that one, but I don't know if I'm gonna go out of my way to pick up and read any more of Alice Oseman's work, because I've read Radio Silence, and I really liked Radio Silence. I read I Was Born for This, and I didn't like that book at all, and I've read Heartstopper Volume 1 and 2. I do like Heartstopper a lot, but I don't think I jive with Alice Oseman's writing. So I don't know, I just don't think I'm a big fan of what Alice Oseman's doing here. My thoughts bounce around a lot, sorry that I'm like jumping topic a lot, but that's just how my mind works. But back to Rooney, the roommate. She sleeps around with a lot of people, like casually, she has casual hookups a lot, and Georgia doesn't particularly slut shame her per se, and she goes out of her way to say that she's not slut shaming her, but the way she looks at and the way she like thinks about Rooney's sex life is weird to me. Like, she's always commenting on the fact that Rooney is out until 4 a.m. and partying and sleeping with people, and it's like, why are you so obsessed with her personal relationships? Like, I don't know, it's not slut shaming, but it's this weird obsession with her interpersonal relationships that I'm just like, Georgia, stop. Yeah, I'm not loving this at all, but I do intend to finish it, so we shall see how my thoughts develop as I go on, but currently this is sitting at like a 1.5 or 2 star, which is rough. Okay, next on to the next thing I'm reading. That's too many next in a sentence. I'm reading, what is it called? Okay, well you can see it right there. It's Forever Theirs by Katee Robert. This is the sequel to Theirs for the Night. So Theirs for the Night I read a little while ago, I'm not sure when. I'll try to figure out what wrap-up it's in, but it's like a short Kindle smut book, you know what I mean? Like, that sort of genre. I guess like it's new adult romance, but you know, like the ones that are like 60 pages long, you know? I remember people saying it was super good, and I did enjoy it. It was pretty good. And it's like a threesome book, basically. I think it's called a menage novel, technically. And it's about this woman named Meg, and she goes out clubbing for her birthday, and she meets these 2 dudes, and she goes home with them, sleeps with them. And then she discovers that one dude is an exiled prince, and the other guy is his bodyguard, and there's like a political plot line, and then the series continues. And I bought the sequel, and then I didn't read it for months, and I was looking at my Kindle app, and I was like, sure, we're gonna start reading it. So I'm 32% through this book, and I'm kind of into it. Like, the smut stuff aside, I'm actually kind of really intrigued by the political plotline, which is a weird thing to say in a book that's based around, like, the erotic romance, I suppose. I am a sucker for, like, when someone gets dragged into, like, politics and stuff, and they're, like, gonna be used as a pawn or something, you know? Is this making sense? Like, when it's like, oh, they're gonna use you to get to me, that sort of a thing. And that's kind of what's going on with Meg and like Theo, who's the prince guy. And I don't know, it's like kind of cheesy and tropey, but I'm enjoying it so far. The writing is actually pretty good, in my opinion. This book is actually like, I think about 200 pages, so it's like a book, right? It's not like a little novella. But a lot of times with those like Kindle novellas, they're like 60 pages, and the whole point is just like the porn, so it's like, it doesn't really matter how it's written. The writing is kind of but I'm actually really enjoying Katee Roberts' writing, so that's an A+ to me. I think this series is 3 books long, if I'm not mistaken. I'll probably continue with the series, if I'm being honest, because, you know, it's fun to read, and I'm having a good time. So, yeah, those are the 2 things I'm reading as of current, and yeah, I suppose that's it for this intro. I have to go help my mom with something, so I will talk to you later. Hi, Ava.
Annoying you in the background while you filmed your vlog.
Solid. We've been very productive. Clearly we're reading, but I have to update you, people, on Loveless, because it's gotten worse. Okay, so Ava's rubbing her hands together. She's gonna listen to this anyway. So like, I'm on page 171, not much further, but Georgia has just revealed herself to be a little horrible person. Not to be too rude. I'm trying not to be rude. I'm also trying not to look at Ava. She's acting like a gremlin, really. But Georgia,
I'm always a gremlin.
Yeah, I agree. A lovable gremlin, though. She's an unlovable gremlin. She is loveless. She should be loveless, in my opinion. I don't think she deserves to be loved. That's very cruel, but opinions. Okay, so it's not in the synopsis, so like maybe it's a spoiler, but I'm just gonna briefly mention. So like, Georgia has 2 friends, and she like is low-key dating one of them, and his name is Jason. Maybe I should go into more depth. Okay. Jason liked her, but she knows she doesn't like anyone. But then like, she dates him anyway, or goes on a few dates with him currently. I know that she probably goes further, but fine. Currently, she's gone on like 2 dates with him. And she's aware, because she's like his best friend, that he's had a lot of bad romantic experiences. And she's like, oh my god, I feel so bad for him, like, this never should have happened to him. And she's also self-aware that she's doing the same thing to him as these past relationships and like past romantic experiences did. And she's just gonna keep going, because she's 1, a bad friend, and 2, a bad person. She's selfish because she is willing to use this guy just to see if she can feel something. Rude. Like, she legitimately says like, what is it, like, maybe I won't hate myself anymore, which is like, I'm not gonna pity you because you're trying to like soothe your soul by hurting your supposed best friend. Like, girl, no, you don't deserve him. I'm going to adopt Jason and take him away from you. I can't really be on my high horse because like, I've low-key done this before, but I'm not proud of it. Like, I'm not proud of the fact that I've like dated people even though I didn't like them. Like, I was aware I didn't like them, but I don't endorse that behavior. And just reading it is making it seem even worse. I feel like if I read about my experiences, I'd feel bad about it. Like, it'd be like, she doesn't deserve happiness. The fact that Georgia is supposedly Jason's best friend and she's doing this to him is just so strange to me. Because if you like low-key friends, or you just like low-key know somebody and then you like, you know, screw with their feelings, I mean, like, that's kind of normal, if we're being honest. But like, if you're claiming that this is your best friend and you care so much about like their feelings and their past experiences, and they've been like pressured by society and shit like that, and then you're doing the same thing to them, I hate to break it to you, but you're a shitty friend. You're a shitty friend. So Jason deserves better, Rooney deserves a better roommate, and Georgia deserves nothing. So that's my thoughts. Woohoo! I'll update you later, I suppose. Okay, so I'm 81% through Forever Theirs? Question mark? Is that what it's called? I think it is. Forever Theirs by Katee Roberts on my Kindle. And before I get into that, I will say I am actually really enjoying reading on my Kindle. I've never really been one to love ebooks. I've been kind of enjoying reading on my Kindle. So like, I might actually pick up more books on it. And like, even if it's not reading full books on ebook, like, I don't know, supplementing my reading with e-reader might be a good move, might be fun. But yeah, Forever Theirs. I am currently 81% through the book, and according to my Kindle, I have 58 minutes left in the book, which means it's totally doable that I could finish it today, which is going to be the goal. I think I'm going to watch some like YouTube or something before I do that, because I've been reading quite a bit today. But yeah, I am really enjoying this. I think I have 2 chapters left in total, but okay. Smut aside, which is just like, the smut's fine. I don't have much to say on it. Like, I'm not gonna review the smut. It was fine. But like, the relationship stuff in this book is actually pretty good in my opinion. Like, I don't have experience or much knowledge on poly relationships, but to me, this seems like a pretty good relationship. Like, they're communicating very openly, and it seems pretty healthy, and like, all things considered, pretty good. Like, the amount of open communication they have impresses me. So, A+ to that. But, like, the political stuff is honestly so good. Like, they start out in New York, and they had to go to Germany, and now they're in Greece. And, like, oh no, the on the run stuff, because, like, the Theo is an exile prince, and he's trying to, like, reclaim his birthright to the throne, because, like, there was a illegitimate claim that he was illegitimate. It's like the kind of the classic story where there's like a dude who has a younger brother, and then the uncle is like controlling the younger brother and gets rid of the older one. I feel like it's a pretty classic dynamic. I feel like I've seen that a few times. But yeah, he's trying to like prove that he's legitimate so he can claim his birthright to the throne, and I'm trash for that. But I'm also trash for like, for somebody being like used as like a pawn, or being like viewed as like a weakness to somebody. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It's usually in fantasy. Like, I don't like that in real life relationships, but like in the sort of fantasy and like monarchy kind of relationships and like books, I enjoy some of that like kind of melodramatic, like, you're my weakness, they're gonna come after you shit, and there's so much of that in this book, and I'm loving it. Yeah, I don't know, I'm really enjoying this. I'm really interested to see how the end of this book happens, because I kind of don't know what's gonna happen. Like, there's a third one. I think this is a trilogy, plus I think there's like novellas that follow different characters, but like, I'm getting nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen, because like, Theo's uncle is like coming to get them, and it's all like conniving, and I am super excited to read the end of this because I feel like it's gonna get really exciting. So yeah, I'm hopefully gonna finish this tonight. I probably will. Like, an hour left to read. I think it's like, what, 10 something? Maybe like 10:10 or something like that. So definitely doable. I think it's gonna happen, and I'm hyped. I'm currently probably at 4 stars with this book, so let's hope it stays that way. Yeah, I don't have much else to say because my life is quite boring, but yeah. Hello. So it officially took me 55 minutes to finish Forever Theirs. I gave it 4 to 5 stars, and honestly, it was great. I don't know if I'm gonna read the 3rd book, and like, without getting too deep into the details of how the book ended, but like, it wraps up, you know? And there is a 3rd book. And I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up. Like, it's not because I didn't like this book, or I don't like the writing or the characters. It's just like, it feels like it's already wrapped up, and I just anticipate the last book probably being just about like, you know, trivial-ish relationship drama and like more smut. Which, like, you know what? I can't argue with that, but I think that like the real plot stuff and the politics stuff is really ended with how the book ended, so I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the 3rd one. I'm definitely not gonna pick it up for like a hot second. Like, I might get it and just keep it on my Kindle and like, you know, read it whenever I'm bored. This book though, I enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoyed the characters. The relationship dynamic was very good. I really appreciate that it's like a pretty damn healthy relationship, which I feel like I don't see a lot in like even traditional relationships where it's like 2 people. So seeing like such a healthy poly relationship was very nice to see, and I really enjoyed it. I don't really have much else to say. 4 to 5 stars. Decent read, and I finished it. So that means that that's 1 check off my goals for this weekend. So all I have to do is finish Loveless, and then I'm a successful person. I think I might pick up another book, and I'm thinking of maybe picking up Vampire Academy, book 1, but I haven't decided yet. So I will update you later if anything like changes and when I read some more. But she finished a book, Look at her go. She's so good. Hello, let's all agree to not look at how uneven my eyeliner is because it will make me sad. But I don't have much to say reading wise. Haven't read any more of Loveless, but I just got ready. I'm going out to dinner with my family for Thanksgiving, even though like Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and even then like that's Canadian Thanksgiving. To all y'all Americans, I'm in Canada, so Thanksgiving is tomorrow rather than whenever you people have Thanksgiving. Anyway, so I'm all dressed up. I feel like I look kind of pretty today though, so I'm kind of happy with them. But I did get a book, obviously. I do know what book this is. It's actually a replacement of this book. So it's The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. And when they originally sent it to me, it was packaged wrong, so the glue was on the spine of the book, and so it was damaged, and Indigo happily replaced it for me, which is nice. So yeah, we're just gonna open this up. I'm assuming that's what it is because I don't think I've ordered anything else, so yep, it's my replacement book. Here she is, spine intact. Yeah. Not much else to say. I know this is a Les Mis YA fantasy retelling. I have no knowledge of Les Mis, but I remember hearing Becca from Becca in the Books talking about this book, and the premise was interesting to me. So I can't really give you a synopsis because I really don't understand it. I just remember hearing about like guilds and like the Guild of Flesh and stuff, so I was like, I'm into it. So when I read this eventually, I can give you a better synopsis, hopefully. But yeah, now I have 2 copies of this book, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. But yeah, I think this vlog is really exposing how little I go out, because it's just like, this whole vlog has been in my room, but also like there's a pandemic, but just in general, I don't do much, which, you know what, it's kind of eye-opening. Maybe I should like go out more. I think I might be going to see Ava after dinner, because I know she has an early birthday present for me from her mom, I'm pretty sure, and I want to pick it up because I hate knowing that there is a gift for me somewhere and not being able to like have it. I just hate the anticipation, you know? Like I just want to know now. So I might be going over to her house tonight, so I'll see if I film a clip there, but I might not. I usually tend to forget to film when I'm with people, so, well, I say people, but it would only be Ava, because she's the only person I tell about this. I'm thinking, so I put a poll on Twitter, I'll put it here, to pick my next read, and it was between 2 books that I've recently bought. I'll pick them up. It was between Vampire Academy and Queen of Hearts. I didn't tell you which books they were, but I did like emojis. And I'm pretty sure Vampire Academy is winning right now, which is kind of what I want to read anyway. Both of these are at the start of series. I think this one might be actually a duology, but either way, a start of a commitment, which I probably shouldn't be doing because I have so many series that I need to complete, but you know what? I've never been good at making good decisions, so I think I'm going to be reading this once I finish Loveless, which is exciting because I've been wanting to read this because I stole this copy of the second book in 8th grade, accidentally from my classroom, and I just haven't been able to read it because it's the sequel, so I want to be able to finally read this book that I stole. I'm sorry to my 8th grade teacher whose classroom I took this from, but I don't think you really miss it because you didn't have the other books, so like how was I supposed to read this? I don't know. This is probably gonna be my next read. It's got vampires, which like kind of correlates with spooky months, so I'm kind of really excited for that. So we shall see when I finish Loveless and when I can start this. I will update you when I've read something, hopefully, but until then, ciao.
Hello. It's a wild Ava. I know. I'm here in person. Yeah. We've been productive. I'm on page something. 287 of Loveless. I'm on part 4 of 5.
progress. I think I'm like 65% through, and everything's falling apart. But I don't understand contemporary because I feel like that should have been the climax. But there's also a lot of book left, so I'm confused. Explain this for the people.
For the people? Basically, they are women spies because, like, all the men are being sent away to war. So then, like, the male spies can't fit in, blend in anywhere, so they all get caught. So finally, this one lady's like, hey, women spies. And they're like, but she's like, women spies. So
they're like, sure.
The one guy's like, sure, why not? And so, yeah, so it's about one lady who's found a bunch of photographs of, like, the women spies. It's good so far.
It's like 2 a.m., so pardon the lethargy.
Yeah, no, we're not doing so good.
The amount of homework I have to do tomorrow scares me. And also the fact that I, like, want to finish this, because it's probably doable, upsets me.
With the amount of homework.
Yeah, I've got, like, an essay, math, chem, book.
Busy.
Have a good day. Night. Hello. Bye. Houston, we have a problem. I want to wear my glasses because I feel like it makes my face look better, but can't use the light with the glasses because that's distracting. So I guess we're gonna have to go barefaced, but my face is really struggling. I have a lot of acne going on because I'm stressed, so that's just the luck of the draw, or the unluck of the draw. This is supposed to be a long weekend vlog. I think that's what I called it in the beginning. As evidenced by the date I'm filming this clip, it's not the weekend anymore, it's literally Thursday. And the reason this happened is because Monday I sort of realized, like early Monday morning when I was delirious at Ava's house, I kind of realized that I'd screwed something up. I'm trying not to swear as much, but it's making me uncomfortable because I don't really say screwed up often, but we're gonna try it. Anyway, so I realized I'd made some mistakes and when it came to homework and time management. So I spent Monday freaking out and just doing chemistry work all into the night. And then Tuesday, I had a whole other kerfuffle when it came to school. And basically this whole week I've been playing catch up with math, chem, and LA, which is all of my classes this semester. So really I've been just struggling. I'm a well-rounded struggle, basically. So I never really got to finish Loveless, which was my second goal of the weekend, my second of 2 goals. So I'm here to wrap up this vlog because I finally finished Loveless. It's over there with the rest of my Alice Oseman stuff. I'll tell you my thoughts now. Why don't I go get it? So, Loveless by Alice Oseman. I ended up giving this 1.5 stars out of 5. And that rounds down to a 1 on Goodreads. My thoughts on this are very jumbled. I don't really know how to explain how I feel about this book. I guess I'll just try. So I will start with the positives, because there are a few positives. So the beginning of this book, I don't really care about. I feel no type of way about it. The middle of this book, though, I kind of hate. And then there was a few redeemable scenes toward the middle end that I enjoyed. But the way I feel about this book is I don't like it as a whole, but there are very specific scenes that I do enjoy. Which is hard to rate, because there are some scenes I would give like a 4 or 5 stars, but then like the stuff that surrounds it is like a 2 to me. And then my general vibe of the book is like a 1. So it's hard for me to rate it. But I end up with a 1.5 because that's how I felt in my heart of hearts it should be. So that's what I went with. Back to what I was saying, I'm going to talk about the positives. I did really enjoy some of the stuff that was to be said about arrow-ace-ness in this book. As I mentioned earlier, I do believe I mentioned this earlier, I am Arrow. You know, still kind of discovering things about myself, but I am on the Arrow spectrum. And this book actually helped me realize I am on the asexual spectrum because of this specific description on 196 by a character named Sunil. He is asexual, and he's describing asexuality, and the way he describes it really hit home for me, because the way I've always heard asexuality described is no sex, don't like sex, never do sex, right? And that to me was too much. You know, it was a little too aggressively no for me, because when I talk about being Arrow, I don't feel the best about romantic situations, but I wouldn't say that I would never do romantic things, you know? depends on context, I suppose. But the way that Sunil describes asexuality is, so I don't look at men or women or anyone and think, wow, I want to do sexy stuff with them. I liked that because I think that kind of describes my mindset and probably a lot of other people's mindset. I don't look at people and think of them sexually. Apparently that's a thing for people. It's not for me. So hearing that really validated my feelings, you know? That was really nice. I appreciate the book for that. And then, like, there's more quotes on that same page, let me find it again, about asexuality and how, like, being asexual doesn't mean you can't have sex. It's the lack of sexual attraction, you know, or the lessening of sexual attraction for some people. I really appreciate that. It kind of made me realize I'm on the asexual spectrum. That was top tier. I love a good sexual awakening, or I guess sexuality awakening. And then there was a scene at the end, which I also highlighted, involving a character named Rooney, which I also mentioned before, where there was this, like, big friendship declaration about how we're more than friends, but we're not romantic, you know? And I really loved that, because I do think that people like to group friendships, family, romance into 3 separate things. So, like, if you're a friend, you're automatically lesser than family and romance, and if, like, you're romance, you're sometimes above the family, like, rating love, basically. But I'm not a person who believes that, for example, just because you're my family, I'm supposed to love you and or love you more than other people in my life. I think that depending on someone's impact and who that person is in your life, it can fluctuate no matter if you're family or my romantic partner or my platonic friend. And I really liked the, you know, idea of friends being more than friends, but not romantic, in, like, the normal use of the phrase more than friends. Really loved that. And those are 2 specific scenes and 2 specific, like, pieces of dialogue, I guess, that I love. Like, those are 5 out of 5 stars. Love them a lot. Pieces of this book. And that's why I feel sort of bad rating it lowly, because there are pieces of this book that I love and that have impacted me a lot. I just don't know about this book. I don't like the characters. I just didn't enjoy George's character. I don't even know how to explain this. Like, I feel like she is selfish, and she does use the people around her, and I'm not a big fan of that at all. Especially while trying to, like, pretend you're a great person. I don't think so. Like, some mistakes she makes in this book, like when she dates her best friend as an experiment, yes, it's a mistake, but sometimes I'm like, okay, but you knew that was a mistake. You had registered that was a mistake and you went through with it. I don't think you're a very good person.
I'm editing and I wanted to clarify this point. I'm not saying that experimenting is bad, but playing with someone's feelings and not letting them in the loop, you know, that you're experimenting and you're not sure how you feel right now, to me is not very fair. Like, if she is aware that she doesn't really feel any type of way romantically about him, but she wants to see if she could, like, and she has an open line of communication with Jason about that, and he agrees to, you know, go through with it, that's fine. That's totally fine. I think that this rubbed me the wrong way in this book specifically because Jason is one of her best friends, and she claims to care so much about him, but then really doesn't care in the moment, or she does care in the moment, but she goes through it anyway, even though she knows she's going to hurt him. And it just confused me because that doesn't make sense. You know, if you care about someone so much, you wouldn't do that to them. So yeah, experimenting is a-okay. I've done it. Most have done it. But don't do it like Georgia did, in my opinion.
I did not like Pip, her other best friend, very much because she is one of those stubborn characters who, it's supposed to be cute that they're stubborn, but I don't really find it that cute when you're so stubborn that you don't listen to people. One of the biggest plot points in this book is a misinterpretation and miscommunication of an event. And that to me is very frustrating because it's so tired. Like, what happens, I don't want to say exactly what happens, but basically 2 people end up smashing faces with each other when they're all just wasted, right? And someone sees who likes one of the people, and it causes a whole kerfuffle because they get pissed, right? But in my opinion, the people who, you know, smash faces are not in the wrong because, one, drunk as fuck. Like, nothing. Y'all are all out of your mind wasted. None of these decisions are really that meaningful. 2, the person who liked the person who kissed another person, this is so shitty of a description, but stay with me here. The person who got mad about it had been trying to convince everyone the whole book that they didn't like this person. Yes, it was plainly obvious that you liked them, but you've been telling me you didn't. So if that is what you're trying to pander to me, and you're trying to make me believe that, and then I go and kiss this person because I believe that you don't like them, I'm not in the wrong. If you like someone and you don't want me to date this person, tell me you like them. Be straight up. If I've already given you the opportunity to tell me because I've told you I can tell, you know, why are you shying away from it? Like, stop. That's where stubbornness comes in that I don't like. I guess I've kind of revealed who it was by saying that, but I tried for you. Characters I loved, I've said this before, I loved Rooney. Rooney is also questioning her sexuality in this book, not in the same way as Georgia, but, you know, she still is doing that. And Sunil is another character I really liked. He's like the wise friend, the wise older friend, and he was very helpful to me in discovering my own identity, but I also think he's really helpful to people in the story. I just really enjoyed that. This book does contain pansexual rep, lesbian rep, obviously aroace and asexual spectrum and aromantic spectrum representation. I do believe Sunil is trans or non-binary, one of the two. I can't remember the exact terms he used to describe himself, but it's one of those two things. So there's a lot of LGBTQ plus representation in this book, as with most of Alice Oseman's books. So that's fantastic. I can speak on some of the rep, but in general I'd say it was all pretty fine. Like, I have nothing that notable to say about the representation. Sometimes I felt good about it, sometimes it made me feel uncomfortable, but that's like a personal problem, not something that was wrong with the actual, I think, story. I did take issue with Alice Oseman's writing. I don't enjoy it. To me, it is trying too hard to sound teen-like, or quirky, or cool, or hip with the kids. You know, they're saying, like, mood all the time, which, yes, is said occasionally in my opinion, but, like, it was jarring to me to hear things that felt so out of place and uncomfortable coming out of the characters' mouths. Like, it felt like trying to shoehorn in slang so that teens relate to it, and I just didn't enjoy that. Also, a common plot point with all of Alice Oseman's books that I've read is that characters run away at the end in some capacity, or there's, like, you know, missing person for like 10 pages is usually like a plot point. And that happened in this book again. Like, I've read 3 of Alice Oseman's, like, novels. I haven't read Solitaire, but I've read I Was Born for This, Radio Silence, and this. And in all the books, in some way, somebody ran away. That's just something I noticed. Not much to really say on that. I feel like I had another point, but I can't remember it, and that's upsetting to me. Okay, I remember what I was gonna say. It's not really about Loveless, but it is on aroaceness. I don't think I want to pick up books about aroaceness, like, that has that as a central plot. Not because I don't think there should be that in books. I think that there should be books about it and they should be published. But personally, I don't like reading about it. It makes me feel invalidated. Maybe I'm so ingrained in this, like, heteronormative society where only, like, cis straight couples are ever, you know, fucking shown on TV. But I didn't enjoy feeling represented, sort of, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe it's because, like, some of Georgia's experiences didn't equate with my own, so it made me feel invalid sometimes, which is totally a personal problem, but I don't know if I want to pick up things that center aroaceness for a hot second, because it did make me feel slightly uncomfortable sometimes, just because it made me, like, question my identity further, and I didn't love that. Like, when Sunil talked about asexuality and I felt super validated, it was great, but then sometimes I'd be in Georgia's mind and I'm like, well, am I aro? Like, I can't be aro if she's aro, and it was very uncomfortable for me. So, like, this is in no way trying to say that I don't want to read diversely, and I don't want this stuff to be published. It's just, like, I got really, I don't know, it made me question myself in ways that I didn't really enjoy. So, will I specifically be picking up aroace fiction anytime soon? I don't know. I guess I'll have to depend on the book, but this is an experience. I don't know if I'd recommend this, honestly. I think out of Alice Oseman's work, it's not the best. I think that Alice Oseman's best is Radio Silence, and I will advocate that forever, because it is the only one of her full-length novels that I actually, like, really enjoy. I don't really like I Was Born for This, and I haven't read Solitaire yet, but yeah, I'd recommend Radio Silence. So that's it with this. I'm so glad I've conquered this 400-page contemporary book. Finally, it's very fulfilling. This is always super exciting for me because now I get to pick a new book to read. And yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna say what I'm reading right now because I haven't picked it yet. I did say that I was thinking of reading Vampire Academy, which is back there, but I'm not sure. There's so many opportunities. Like, what story am I gonna read now? I think I want to go somewhere fantasy. I feel like I'm gonna read Vampire Academy, but I also have this book, which is Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa, which is a fantasy romance, which I've had for a hot second, and it's looking at me pretty enticingly, so we might be going this way, but I can't confirm anything until my next vlog, possibly. I'm gonna try and film a vlog, I think, this weekend / this week, but we shall see. My birthday is on Friday, I just remember that, so maybe I'll do, like, a vlog starting on my birthday, which is on Friday? I don't know. I'll deal with that. But in the meantime, oh, should I wrap this vlog up? I read Forever Theirs and I read Loveless. Great. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. I've been Bailey, and goodbye.